This is the Pozcast, a podcast where each episode my brother and I rewatch one of our favorite movies of all time. We'll discuss it, we'll reminisce, we'll break it down, and then eventually we'll hand out all of our awards. Bobby, this week I'm pretty pumped, not just because it's a great movie. I'm talking about Dune Part 1 from 2021. But our guest is none other than my little girl E-Money, better known as Ellie, who is joining the program. She's a big fan. She loves Bob Big Question. She's ready, Bobby. Are you?
I couldn't be more ready. And said she was a little nervous. Don't embarrass her. So I figured the best way to start the podcast, Ellie, is give me your best impression.
I will, because ever since we watched this movie, I can't stop doing it. It's like, mama, 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 boom, boom.
It's just in the middle of the movie, just women screaming and wailing at the top of their lungs, and it somehow makes sense.
It's so good.
What an absolute pleasure rewatching this, Marcus.
Yes, this is a fun one. Now, Bobby, look, you've got kids, I've got kids, and there's nothing better about having kids like stuff that you like. And I definitely got the love of cinema to my daughter, Ellie. Now, Chelsea, my oldest, does like movies, but way more the Hallmark type of movies where you don't have to think. She wants no drama, no killing, no nothing. Ellie, she's all in. Gladiator, Goodfellas, Fight Club is just right there with me, Ellie. So just start right there.
8mm, I know was a good one you guys watched together.
have not gone down that road. But Ellie, start right there. I mean, what is it? Why do you like movies so much? Why do you like the movies your dad likes?
I think first it started with just you being so excited to show them to me. And so watching them was kind of a way that I saw it made you happy. I remember watching Star Wars for the first time and you were just so excited to show it to me. And I was like, you know what, I'm a little kid, I haven't seen many movies, but let's go. And I think there's just something so incredible about a good movie that has good cinematography, good acting, good costumes and directing and all of that stuff. You can really tell like what makes a good movie from a mediocre one, and it makes you feel something. And I love having to think and having to put together a bunch of things, and it's just, there's nothing better and there's no different feeling than watching a good movie and feeling it and knowing that that's a good movie. And it's great, and I'm glad that those happen to be the movies that you like to watch too.
So, Mark, I thought it was going to go a different way. I thought she was going to be like, you know what, I really don't like movies. Mark, it makes me happy. So, Dad, I just do it for you. I thought that's where we were going. This is going to be a short podcast, but I'm glad it went the other way. And everything you name, this is this movie in spades. I mean, you have to suspend all belief or disbelief and just totally immerse yourself in a world where, 500-yard worms just eat people, and you're like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. We got worms opening up there. I got questions on the worms. I hope you guys have questions on the worms. I got a lot of questions on these worms. But just every single turn, every single character you meet, it's very similar to Star Wars and Star Trek. There are no rules. You can write any character that can do anything, which is pretty cool to do once in a while. And it's funny you bring up Chelsea. Could you imagine Chelsea and Tia Mary just putting them in a room together and just having them watch movies? I could watch that reality show all day.
They'd make it about 5 minutes in this movie, the opening little thing. It's funny, you both have brought up Star Wars. There's an amazing Star Wars tie-in, Bob. I don't know if you did some research on this, the George Lucas, the similarities between these two movies. I'd be interested to go into it. So let's, Ellie, when we started this podcast, my brother and I have been doing this, I was always like, let's get you on here. What movie do you want to do? And you've always just been kind of steadfast that you really like Dune. What is it about this movie that you just enjoy so much?
It is just, I remember it being 2021, and if I'm correct, they did not release it in the theaters, and you had
we saw this at home. Yeah, we saw it on HBO, which is a shame.
It.
This should be seen in a theater, but we did see it at home. Yeah,
I agree. And just even for being at home and not being on the big screen, it is just so intense. Like, you feel like you're at the movie theater when you're watching it. But I just love this movie because I just love a mystical world, a fantastical world, something that doesn't take place in our world. And this is just there's different planets, there's the costumes are so cool, the magic is so cool with the voice and all of that stuff, and it doesn't feel, because I know it's a long movie, but it's just, I'm so interested the whole time and I'm so invested, and I feel like there's just no other movie like really like it, because sure, Star Wars is similar, but I don't think there's another movie that does like CGI or costumes or spaceships like this movie. Yeah. It's so cool, and I've always loved it, and I think it'd be a great movie to dive into.
Yeah, the storyline is very similar to Star Wars, but the movies are nothing like it. I mean, this is an incredibly directed and acted and storyline movie where Star Wars isn't, and I think you would agree with that. I know it's the idea of Star Wars is better than the actual movies are. I think, and this is Ellie, you bring this up. I try to think what other movies are like this, and I think Lord of the Rings is really the only comparable one to this. That you can really believe everything you're watching because of the CGI, because of the development of the characters, because of, you know, Frodo isn't the one. He's not even the main guy. We know. I mean, we know who the main guy is. But I think those two are probably more similar than anything else. Mark, did you think of any other movies that you could compare to this?
Lord of the Rings is a great comparison. You know, we got 3 of those. We're going to get a third one of this eventually. I guess it's in production. And you mentioned about well-directed. Dennis Villeneuve. I hope I'm saying this guy's names correctly. His other movies, Bob, Sicario, which we love, Prisoners, Tough Hang, great watch, Arrival, a really cool science fiction movie kind of in this vein. He's well behind our guys Nolan, Tarantino, Spielberg, Scorsese, but he's got some DNA in there where I think he could be pretty good, right?
Well, this puts him right up there. I mean, this Dune movie, this was a really tough one to rank because it's when we did sequels, did we even mention the second Dune?
I don't think so. Yeah.
That's a miss by us because this sequel is very good. And as I found myself rewatching this movie, I was almost waiting for him to ride the worm. Then I forgot, okay, that's the next one. It's just I can't wait to when all these are done to watch them side by side by side. And I think the second one was released direct to some sort of service because I watched the second one on a plane. I couldn't wait. I wanted to see it in the theater and I couldn't wait. Or maybe it was, hey, it got postponed or whatever. But to your point, Ellie, I lost nothing. Watching on a plane, folding my ears over my AirPods because for some reason my ears don't work in those planes. And it was just as good as watching it in a theater, I think.
Here's another thing about this movie, which is not hard. An unbelievable cast. Just listen to some of these people that are in it. You know, Hans Zimmer, score. We love the Hans Zimmer on this show. Timothee Chalamet, more on him in just a little bit. Rebecca Ferguson, Oscar Isaac, Josh Brolin, Stellan Skarsgard, Zendaya, Javier Bardem, Jason Momoa. I mean, this thing is, I kept, I'm like, oh my gosh, he's in this movie, she's in this movie. Now, to be fair, a lot of these side characters don't get a lot to do in this one. They do stuff better in the next one. But Ellie, you and I have talked, you love DiCaprio, Christian Bale. You're always kind of saying, hey, you've been on this guy for a while. You're like, Timothee Chalamet is the next guy. What is it about? Is it the hair? Guy's got unbelievable hair. But what is it about Timothee Chalamet, Ellie?
No, I have been on the Timothee Chalamet train before he got famous. That is my claim to fame. I think it's the hair. And
that's
I don't know.
It's not a great answer. Not a great answer.
It's the hair. And I remember I think the first thing that I really watched him in was Little Women, which he's in with Florence Pugh, who's actually in the second Dune movie. Mm-hmm. But I think he's just a really good actor. And I know he's been in a lot of indie things that I haven't seen, but I just know that he was super famous in those. And yeah, I just think he's like just a really good actor, and I think people could see that early on.
And he seems committed to the craft, right, Bobby? Like, I know you're going to have a hard time when we get to his Hall of Fame plaque, because he's in your movie, Bobby, Interstellar. He is the forgotten son in Interstellar. I mean, it's all about Murph, but Timothee Chalamet, one of his first roles is Interstellar. But this is the next guy, right, Bobby? I mean, we're safe to say this?
Well, I've got a Hall of Fame plaque of who will be the best actor in 20 years. And He's obviously the first one that I put on the list. But yeah, this guy's, and it seems like he's really serious. Some of those interviews about his Bob Dylan movie was like, hey, I'm in this to be the absolute best. Like, I'm pissed I didn't win an Oscar. And, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this right. And he's a little, like, kind of, smoky, like, everyone's too good looking to be in this movie. I got to hold, I mean, it's just ridiculous. But yeah, he's man, he's in it. And he plays the young guy very, very well. And obviously he's starting to develop not develop into a man, but playing leading men roles now. And that's hard to do. That's hard to do, especially when he's got a baby face. I don't even how old is Chalamet? I didn't even look at that. What is he, 25, 26? What is he?
He definitely looks young. And Ellie and I even commented, we're watching the movie the other night, like, man, he really looks young in this thing, right? He's definitely grown into the Lisan Al Gaib. How about some stats on this thing, Ellie? $430 million in 2021. It was the number 10 movie that year worldwide. Any guesses on what was number 1 in 2021? Weird year at the box office because of COVID and everything. Any ideas? Another big franchise with Zendaya in it, Ellie. Spider-Man, No Way Home, the number 1 movie that year. A couple other notables. No Time to Die. Ellie, we saw that in the theater. The conclusion to James Bond. Ellie, do we know who the next James Bond is? You've been kind of following this. Do we know?
Timothee Chalamet, obviously.
No, not for sure. I think it was talk that it was going to be Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Yeah, the guy from Bullet Train. I think he'd be good, right?
I think he'd be great in it, but I don't think there's any confirmed.
A couple other notable movies. A movie that your uncle Bob likes, Sing 2, with Matthew McConaughey as the lead koala bear. What would you call him? Koala bear?
I'd call him exactly what he is, Mark. He's a koala bear. What was the mystery here? He's a koala bear.
And then Ellie's been on this franchise for a while. A Quiet Place 2. Ellie, which one's better? The OG Quiet Place or Quiet Place 2?
This is not my franchise. This is Chelsea's franchise.
Oh.
Wrong daughter.
What are you talking? You told me that she doesn't like scary movies. What are you talking? She likes that?
Chelsea loves The Quiet Place. This is one of her rewatchables. Oh. She will watch The Quiet Place anytime.
I would do that. I would do that in a heartbeat. I do like that. I love Kransky. I love
anything with Jim in it. Critically acclaimed, 10, Bobby. Count them, 10 Academy Award nominations. Most wins that year, won 6. No doubt sound, visual effects, music editing. Regrettably did not win Best Picture. Any idea what won Best Picture this year, Bobby?
Something horrible. I remember
Coda. Any idea?
I haven't seen it, and I love my our deaf listeners are some of our best listeners. Our deaf listeners really, really like us, and they really give us responses. But it's not better than Dune. I'll tell you that right now.
It is not. I got to get into this, since Ellie's foray into cinema history was Star Wars. I love Star Wars, Bob, well documented on this. You're not as big of a fan. Star Wars and Dune, there's a lot of similarities here. Let me just kind of run through it. So it's a novel in 1965. You get the movie in 1984. The only thing I remember from the 1984 movie is Sting is in it. Bob, did you ever see the OG Dune directed by David Lynch with Sting?
No, but some of our friends that like this podcast and movies, I think we give them way too much credit. My man Mater, he goes, "What's on this week?" I go, "It's Dune." He goes, "The original?" I'm like, "Come on, man. Come on. We're not doing the original Dune." So no, I did not see the original Dune. I might though. I mean, if we do it, Mater's in.
It's not great, but listen to some of these similarities between Star Wars and Dune. One, you got desert worlds, right? Tatooine and Arrakis. Desert, hot places, a lot of sand. Obviously, the tie-ins with the Messiah, the Chosen One, Lisan Al Gaib, that works in any kind of movie. Mystical abilities. Ellie, I think you mentioned it. The voice and the force. Now, what's cooler, Ellie? The voice these guys throw out or using the force? Force is a little more user-friendly, right?
Yeah, I agree. I think the force is kind of like... You just have to have your hands free, and even then you don't really have to. The voice, you have to have your voice. But I do think the voice is kind of cooler, because it's like, give me the water, you know?
But I don't think the voice is the ultimate culmination of all the powers. It's part of the powers, right?
Part of it, yeah. Part of it.
Yeah.
Other ones, you've got a rebellion, Bobby. You've got spices. Han Solo, famously a spice smuggler. Spice is very prominent in this land. The sandworm, Bobby, which you mentioned, which gets a little bit of run in this movie, way bigger than the next one, combined with the sarlacc. The Boba Fett met his fate in the Sarlacc, evil emperors, and then a parental twist because, in the second one, the Baron is the father of Lady Jessica. So you kind of get, it's not quite as impactful as Darth Vader being Luke Skywalker's son. I saw an interview, I was doing the deep dive on this, where they asked Frank Herbert, hey, are you going to sue George Lucas? He says, I have no intention of suing George Lucas. Bob, if I just kind of roll that out to you, look, we're all influenced by everything that we see. Did George Lucas, is he owe a little bit of cash to Frank Herbert for this thing?
Yeah, he does. He does. And I'm part of that class action lawsuit. And I'll send it out. You sign it, and maybe we'll make a little cashish on the side. It'll be the first penny we make from this podcast, which is worth time. Which is worth the time for sure.
It definitely will. All right, Bob. So you have not read the book. You've not seen the 84 film with Sting. Ellie and all of us, we've seen Dune Part 2, which was great. Your guy, Ellie, Austin Butler, had an awesome part in that one. Florence Pugh. We're going to get Dune Messiah, allegedly in 2026. Will they tie the bow on this thing, Ellie? Will this be a great trilogy when all is said and done?
I hope so. I hope it'll be a good ending and a good movie. I think it will be. I do think there's already one TV show that they did, Dune Prophecy or whatever.
Yeah.
I do think they'll probably leave a loose end here or there to continue it on and make some TV shows. But I hope and I think that it will be a good trilogy and it will round it out.
We'll hope for that. But look, the best thing about it, this will get us to the theater, right, Ellie? I mean, this, along with Mission Impossibles and the Top Guns, this kind of gets us to the theater. Bobby, any awards? I assume this did really well with Arrakis and, foreign films.
I gave up. It got 350 nominations, and it goes alphabetically in the IMDb. I got to the B's. I said, you know what? The podcast is going to be long enough. We don't need any of it. So I totally shirked my duties on that, but I'm sure it got a ton of foreign films. It got a lot of golden schmoes. It's really, really, really critically acclaimed. So I apologize for that, but it was just too much data, Mark. It was too much data.
Now, Bob, it's not quite a helicopter. It is an ornithopter. So I don't even know if you could possibly put a helicopter rating to this. It's in the same family. I mean, these things are incredible.
What did you call it?
An ornithopter? What is it, Ellie? Ornithopter? Ornithopter.
I think so.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was just a thopter, and we can do it in this order. Is that the greatest name of anything on the planet that when you hear the word, that's what it is? If you didn't tell me it was called a thopter and you say, what would you call that? I go, that's a thopter. I mean, that is an absolute perfect name. It's a thopter.
The sound effects on that thing, incredible, right? That's what Ellie and I were watching the movie. At some point during it, I just turned to her and I go, these are the greatest collection of spaceships ever, right, Ellie? I mean, it's just unbelievable, yes?
For sure. Every single one. It's just what even is that, and how is that even made, and how did they even create that in their mind and put it on the screen? And
I was going to have a Hall of Fame plaque for best vehicle, which, as you remember, in our Star Wars
incredible
back it was an unbelievable. These aren't well known enough, so it'd be like, it was this part of the movie, it was this one, like the guy that picks up the harvester. Like, I didn't do that, but the thopter, I gave it a 43 for the helicopter rating because it's technically not a helicopter, but it's a close cousin, and just an incredible vehicle. Unbelievably inefficient. I don't know why it needs to do that. It doesn't do anything that a helicopter wouldn't do, but it's unbelievable. It's a great, great vehicle.
Takes a while to get going, right, Bob? I mean, you rev that thing up, it's got to really kind of get going.
I mean, can you imagine the maintenance on those things that are just but
there's sand everywhere.
You didn't, yes, exactly. Like, you can't have any exposed anything.
Yeah.
But Mark, if you didn't know the name of it, and I said, what's the name of that thing? You go, let me think. What could that be called? Thopter. It's exactly what it's called.
I love it. All right. Speaking of scenes, the thopter might be well represented in here. Just a lineage of really cool stuff. Almost any time a spaceship was just on, I was just in awe. The noise, the sound was just all encompassing. Ellie, how'd you pick a favorite scene? I mean, so many to choose from.
Yeah, I don't really have one favorite. I just have a ton because I think about some of these scenes just on regular basis, I like remember it. I'm like, oh, that was a really good piece of movie. But I would say my favorite scenes ish are obviously the box scene. I know you're gonna say that one, Dad. You love that scene. So, oh, there's the box.
What's in the box?
That scene.
He actually says
That
what's
one's
in the
great.
box.
Yeah, he does. Yeah. But, all right, Ellie. Ellie's seen it. Ellie, best what's in the box scene? End of 7 or this Dune Part 1?
I mean, it has to be the end of 7.
Yes,
That's right.
thank you, Ellie.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Jeez.
You're welcome. I also really love the sandstorm scene when they fly the Thopter into the sandstorm, and then he kind of gets the epiphany to just let it go. I love all the scenes where, what's her name? Rebecca Ferguson or Lady Jessica or whatever. She's muttering. She's like, fear is the enemy or whatever. And it's just blah in the back and just everything. I love it. I love the scene with the hunter seeker when it like drills out of the wall and he like catches it. That one's great. When they move to Arrakis and the spaceship comes out of the water and he's like feeling the water for the last time. That one's great. And just anything where they use the voice. I love it.
You hit
Bob?
you hit all of them. Mine was the Thopter scene in the sandstorm. I'm not positive how they survived the crash landing, but hey, like Ellie said, we have to suspend disbelief. Is it suspend disbelief or suspend belief? What is it?
Great question.
Disbelief?
Suspension of belief.
Suspension of belief.
Yeah.
You have to you have to let yourself get in the movie there. But yes, I love because it just plays into Mark. You talked about it. The theme that we're in for anytime is the one. And that's kind of the epitome of the one of like, hey, I'm just going to let this thing go. I know I'm bound for something that's bigger than myself. Something's telling me to let go in 6,500 mile an hour winds, which is unbelievable. And then Ellie, you said the when he's feeling the water for the last time, like, kind of put yourself in those shoes. And then what will be my Rudy's sack is when Duncan, Idaho, I didn't misspeak. That's his name. Duncan.
Incredible.
Shuts the gate behind him. He knows he's gonna die, but then when he pulls the sword out of himself and gets a couple last guys, I got goosebumps now. That's a great scene.
Duncan, Idaho, on the list of great names in movie history, right, Bobby? Duncan, Idaho.
Come on, Idaho. It's the year 10,100. It's 10,190. They don't know what Idaho is. There's no way.
Duncan, Idaho, like that's the guy you want as the quarterback for your favorite team because he's a stud. Duncan, Idaho under center. Yeah, you guys nailed a lot of the scenes. I think maybe the only one that you didn't mention, or maybe as a part of it, with the Harkonnens attack, right? You get the betrayal because going back, like now you see, it's coming. That Dr. Hui is going to kind of pull a fast one on Oscar Isaac's character, but that's a really cool scene. The invasion, Josh Brolin just throwing 1,000 miles an hour. Gurney's a great character. So many great little side characters. I can't even think of any other ones. Maybe the very end when Paul fights Jameis, when Jameis basically challenges his mother, and he stands in for his mother, and this is his first time, as his mom says, he's never killed a man, and he kind of acquiesces at one point in time, but then finally does it. Then you get the kind of the fade to black a la Lord of the Rings, which we'll talk about in the ending part of it. But yeah, tons of great scenes. I don't have a ton of quotes. I got some funny ones. I mean, I love every time Duncan Idaho says, "My boy."
Yeah. That's a good one.
Or "To hell, dogs." And then the only funny one I get, I think it's the Reverend Mother, which Ellie, you have referenced a few times. She says, "Goodbye, young human. I hope you live." I just thought that was funny. Ellie, any memorable quotes? There's not this is not like Star Wars with "May the Force be with you" or anything, but you got anything?
I do. I have one actually also from the Reverend Mother when she's with the Harkonnens and there's like that creepy little spider thing and the guy's like, "Oh, it doesn't understand your language," and she uses the voice. It's like, "Go away." She goes, "It understands." I like that one. And then also, I don't remember what his name, but it's Javier
Bardem.
Whatever. Yeah, whatever his character's name is. He gets up there, he says his piece, and then he leaves. He goes, "I've spoken. I have nothing more to say," and then just walks out.
That's good. I have nothing more to say.
Yeah. No, not many quotes. Duncan Idaho's dreams make good stories, but everything important happens when we're awake. Yeah, so I'm bummed that he died. I knew he died. I remember he died, but I'm bummed that he died for sure.
Well, look, I mean, spoiler alert, in the original movie, he gets resurrected. So I'm assuming he comes back in Dune Messiah. Ellie, are we under the impression we'll get a little more Duncan Idaho? So hopefully
I think so.
that will happen. Bobby, I got to think this might be the newest in relation to time of movies we've ever done. Only 4 years. I mean, the only other movie I could think that we might do that was released after this would be Top Gun Maverick, right? Have we ever done a movie this late?
No. This is the newest one for sure. Top Gun Maverick will do that soon, and that'll be earlier than this. But no, this is the earliest one for sure.
So only 4 years, Ellie. Not a lot of time for things to hold up. But as you know, I love a narrator. We get a little bit of narration in this movie, Ellie. But what else you got, buddy? What else holds up for you in this thing?
Okay, so first, we've touched on this a little bit, but just the dude of all dudes.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's great. I love when they show a place and it says, like, the name of the place on the side.
Yeah.
With, like, the little thing. I think that's great. It holds up. Just tells you where you are. I love it. I think visions, like little flashbacks when he's, like, seeing things about Zendaya and all that stuff. The disbeliever that just causing problems, Jameis, and just challenging this dude. You guys could have all gone in peace, but I think there's always going to be that one guy that just doesn't like him and just wants to cause a problem. And then just cool fighting. I think cool fights.
Definitely some cool fighting, Bobby. What do you got?
No, the one I had, you stole that one. That was the one. I love, you know what holds up? Kids being mad when you wake them up. Like, it's the Lisan Al Gaib, and he wakes them up. He's like, I'm tired, you know. That still holds up to this day, correct, Ellie?
Yeah, it does.
Yes.
You're a little grumpy when you get up.
Yeah.
Fights till the death. I mean, can we bring that back? Like, if you really want to run your mouth, what if the consequence was a fight and one of you is going to die? Like, that probably would stop some of the fights that are happening.
Yeah.
Normal names in the year 10,190. Paul. The guy's name's Paul. Like, isn't that amazing? She's Jessica. He's Duncan.
Yeah.
Then there's a couple others, but like just normal names. Like when she called him Paul, I'm like, there's no way his name's Paul. I love that. Patience holds up. So the Bene Gesserit, she says, our plans are measured in centuries.
Yeah.
Holds up. Everybody thinks the Chinese are doing this. They're like, we'll get the Americans at some point. I just think when they finally do it, I don't think anybody will care anymore. So maybe they'll be a little too patient. Who knows?
Yeah.
Captions hold up, Mark. You were right on it. The captions, closed captioning. It's a little one of these things that it's like, geez, I'm that old. Mom can't watch anything without the captions, and here I am watching the captions. But
we are a closed captioning family, right, Ellie? That's the only way we watch movies around here. You never miss anything.
But yeah, you can't hear, and you refuse to get it checked. I can hear, but it was a little mumbling, and I like the way they described some of the sounds were pretty good.
Yeah.
You know what holds up? Outlawed tunes on outlawed pipes. Every time that thing goes, that's all I think of. I'm
so glad you picked that up. I'm like, why are there bagpipes in the year 10,000?
I said the same thing.
Yeah.
Outlawed tunes on outlawed pipes. And then I love when someone approaches someone they shouldn't and they get a sword right to their neck. Like, I like that too. Like, it's just, they make one move and every sword is just like, bink, right on their neck. I love that. That's what holds up, Mark.
All right, a couple more what holds up. Hans Zimmer. I mean, come on. The sound effects are a character in this movie. It's just the bwong, the hi-hi. I mean, the whole thing is just really good. A great cast. I mentioned it up front. I mean, you got Javier Bardem. He's got like 3 lines in this movie. I mean, he's incredible. The spaceships I mentioned, just every single one is just kind of updoing the other one. The training shield, Bob. Do we not have this? Can we get the training shield?
I got a ton of questions of why don't a lot of these things in this movie exist now? Like, what are we doing? All of the technology advances that we do now are made to sell ads. That's like the only thing. Like, hey, my company's worth $1 billion because it can now sell ads to Ellie's generation. Why aren't we inventing shields that do what these shields do? I just don't know.
awesome. Secret languages, I love that. Like, Jessica's doing like sign language or speaking in tongues. All that kind of stuff is really cool. And Chalamet's hair. I can't get enough of this dude's hair. I used to think McConaughey had the best hair. Chalamet now, Bob? Who's got the best hair?
Yeah, it's probably Chalamet. It's really, really good. It's really good.
Great head of lettuce on him. All right. Sci-fi movies elicit a lot of questions, Ellie. You got to suspend disbelief, maybe? My brother's to quote him. So you can't get too crazy, Ellie, but what do you got? What's burning a hole in your head there?
Okay, I have a few. So, are the Harkonnens born bald, or do they shave every day?
To the Harkonnens, that's a great question.
I think there's something in their solar system, there's something in the soil, because they're not shaving every day. But that's a great thing. Like, I want to see, like, the bathroom. It's like, hey, get out of the way. I'm trying to shave. Here comes the emperor. We got to get shaved down. I like that.
Yeah, because there is not a speck of hair.
No.
Yeah.
On Arrakis, like, how does anything work? How do you see? How do you, like, with just sand everywhere? I don't understand how their eyes are open.
Well, here's a follow-up to that. No sunglasses. I mean, it's blistering heat and sun, UV rays. They've got all this protective gear. No sunglasses, Ellie? That's kind of where you were going, right?
Yeah. Another one. Okay, so for whatever the planet is that Atreides rules before they go to Arrakis, I was just, why are the humans the leaders when you have like this guy that can calculate how much money it did? You have this guy that can sense how healthy you are by touching you. You have these Harkonnen people, all these other people. Why are the humans like the most powerful people on this planet?
I guess that's the old monarchy, right? I mean, they were born. They were the highborn, born into the. It's a good question. They might revolt.
You got something against humans, Ellie? Anti-human? You're an anti-human.
No, but I think these people would be. I don't know.
Fair question.
And then how does spice, which is basically a drug, how does that direct space travel?
That's the $1 million question of this whole thing. They need it to travel intergalactically, right? And never divulged that information, did they?
Yeah. If they don't have it, they can't at all. How did they figure that out? How does it work? I don't get it.
Nobody knows.
The year 10,190. I mean, it's a lot of time to figure some things out here,
True. And then, at the end, when the Fremen, they, like, cut themselves or something as an oath that they're not going to harm, I feel like for these people that treasure their body's moisture and all that stuff and are sweating in these suits, I feel like that would lead to an infection or just some loss of blood or just...
So much dirt and sand in there.
Yeah, like, I just feel like that's not the best thing.
Not very hygienic. That's a good call. I mean, we're trying to save every bit of moisture we can, and we're just slicing ourselves up in the desert. That's good.
It shows how serious the oath is. I mean, that's it. I mean, the guy spits at the as a sign of respect. So, is that it, Ellie? Any more questions?
Yeah, and I also just wrote bagpipes, ?
Outlawed tunes on outlawed pipes. All right, Ellie, you said it was one of your favorite scenes. I've got to challenge you a little bit. Are we sure Jameis is a good fighter? I mean, Paul could have killed him 5 times. Yeah. And this is like the best guy. All he's got is a scream. He thinks he's going to... I mean, Mark... Jameis, good fighter, terrible fighter, or an average Fremen fighter?
Very average Fremen fighter. My guess is Jameis has not gotten into a lot of scuffles because I think Stilgar was handling his business. So, like, how many people are they coming about in the desert where they got to fight? So he just probably figured, hey, you got this young little whippersnapper. Paul didn't look like much, right? Kind of skinny, kind of scrawny. Probably thought he could take him. Bad choice. Maybe the worst decision. We'll find out.
A little foreshadowing there. Yeah. A tiny bit of foreshadowing there. So we've got this spice. It's red. Everything is brown. There's the sun, and it turns their eyes blue. Like, what? Why does it turn their eyes blue? Why does it turn their eyes blue?
Yeah, undisclosed.
Undisclosed, huh? Ellie, you're an athletic woman, but Jessica just absolutely works Paul in that race away from the worm. She's 100 yards ahead of him. What's going on?
I was thinking that too, because they're running, and then I thought it was Jessica that was falling at first. And I was like, you gotta go. Why is he not running back to help her? And then he stands up and it's him, and she's like already on the rock.
Get better.
How does that happen?
It's incredible. Okay, you also named another scene. So she's got this pen. She's like, this poison will kill you in a millisecond. Do you need to hold it that close? Like, what if he flinches? Is flinching a sign of weakness, or like, oh, she slipped? What? Yeah, so you saw that too. Why does it need to be so close, Mark?
Too much. Yeah. What are we doing?
Yeah, and he's going through immense pain. He can't move at all. Doesn't make any sense.
No.
Okay, let's talk about these worms. Okay, so one, where are their eyes? Because it's clearly looking at Paul at the end, which is a cool scene. It's just like him kind of acquiescing to the one, but the walls of the city protect us against these worms. Wouldn't the worm just go under and go right into the city? What are we doing? Come on, there had to be, just write something in there. Like if they would have said, these walls are built to the core of the planet.
Correct.
Then I'm in.
Yeah.
But Ellie, you're shaking your head. You saw that. You recognize that too, right?
Yes, when it very first happened, I just assumed that they build the wall like through the sand all the way to the ground.
Then you gotta say that. Because on a podcast between three morons, we'll be like, don't the worms just go in there? They just open their mouth and the whole city falls in.
Yes.
I also, speaking of the worms, I was like, do they really just respond to any sound ever? Like, and I feel like it's for very little award. Like, one human is really that much, like, nutrients for you.
It's not even a human, it's a ship. I mean, they could eat a ship. I mean, there's nothing, there's nothing they won't eat. Okay. I mean, we talked a lot about this. Chris Pine in Hell or High Water, like, poor people don't look like him. Fremens don't look like Zendaya.
Is it Zendaya or Zendaya?
Zendaya.
Yeah, she's too good looking. Javier Bardem, the leader of this crew, is just a sultry looking man as well.
Jameis has perfect skin. I mean, if I said, hey AI, hey Grok, show me what a real life Fremen would look like, they would be so dehydrated and just disgusting.
Leathery skin.
He looks at her and she's just gorgeous. Her skin is perfect. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
All right, so same thing with Atreides. Everybody is beautiful in Atreides. All these planets, everybody. Well, maybe they just weeded out all the ugly people. I don't know.
Maybe.
All right, what would a Fremen look like? I like that one. Okay, Mark, how haven't we mastered space travel yet? I was listening to this. I think it's called Abundance. That book by whatever. I'm listening to an audiobook, and they make a great. I know I'm going to get the dates wrong, so don't fact check me here. But it's like if you lived in 1840 and moved ahead to 1900, it's like, oh my gosh, the world is drastic. 1900 to 1940, there's planes flying over and cars and this. Now, to my point, if you went to bed in 1970 and woke up in 2025,
you'd be disappointed.
The only thing we've got to show is a phone. Like, that's all we've got. Like, no, the phone is awesome. The internet is awesome. How haven't we mastered space travel yet? What are they doing? I don't know who I'm talking to, but what are they doing? I mean, what's going on?
Well, to my knowledge, it's just one guy trying to figure this out, Musk. And I think he says his goal for Occupy Mars is 2030. I mean, we're not that far away. He seems to be kind of bullish on that. But I think we need more than one dude working on this. Correct?
But Mark, that thing, it's a 50-50 chance it doesn't explode as soon as, there's no ships exploding in this movie. They're very, very efficient. So, which brings me to my next question, and I hate doing it because the Thopter is just my favorite. If we have the technology to just... Why do we need...
Yeah, do we need the blades? Do we need blades? No, we don't.
Ellie, if you could just float and go forward and backwards in any direction, why does the Thopter exist?
I think it just looks cool.
It looks cool and it's got a great sound effects. I think it's what they went for.
Yeah, Ellie was just like Bob. I'll go Bob. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know.
Great questions.
Those were all my questions, and I still got Bob's big question.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot. Spitting. I have a question on spitting. Bob, would you ever spit in the general direction of another human as a sign of respect? Would that ever be something?
Not if there's fights to the death, which there are obviously fights to the death in this place. So, and he immediately almost got a sword right on his throat when he did it too. So, no.
Spitting. But, it makes sense, right? Because moisture is like gold. So to extract some moisture out of you, big sign of respect. Dreams is a big part of this movie. Ellie, do you dream and remember those dreams when you wake up?
I remember them sometimes, but not like that, and they never make sense. So not that vividly.
Yeah, not like mom. Mom's all over the dreamscape, right?
Mom is?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe I got that from her though.
Yeah, maybe. Bob, you a big dreamer? Do you remember these things?
No, I have a couple dreams that recreate that. I got the dreams of, oh my gosh, it's the last day of class and I haven't gone to Spanish. What was I thinking? I'm not going to graduate. And then I've got the one where I don't fly, but I can run and jump, and I can jump forever, which is the greatest dream.
That's a good one. Yeah,
Great.
I got that. I've also got the one where I'm in like a tight room and I got to hit a golf shot. It's very frustrating. I can't swing. It's just like I'm like trapped in a spot and I got to swing.
Mine like that is I'm in a fight and I can't punch fast.
Yeah, there you go.
I can't punch fast. So, yeah.
Dreams.
Yeah.
Fascinated by it. I did not realize or remember that old man Atreides and Lady Jessica not married. Is that covered anywhere, Ellie? Why are they? He's like, I should have married you. Why are they not married? I always thought they were.
Well, because she is like Bene Gesserit, right? And so they are just kind of sent out to these families to have children and continue the line. So I think, because in the next movie, they kind of show that a little bit more, how they just send the one out to Austin Butler to get pregnant and have a kid. So I think that the Reverend Mother just sent her there to be his concubine, as they say.
Okay.
Yes. And I think she just really loved him and stayed and raised Paul.
Ellie answered the question. I was unaware they were not married. Ellie had a fine answer for it. So we'll...
Don't even know what you guys are talking about. But go ahead, move on.
We don't conclude there. Let's hand out some awards, my favorite part. All right. We start, Ellie, with the Denzel Washington Award for the biggest badass in the movie. Who is it?
I said the Reverend Mother.
Mm.
I think she's pretty cool. And if not the Reverend Mother, then I think Timothee Chalamet, because he's the one, Everything works out for him. He's got all this power. He kills Jameis, and he's the one. But other than that, the Reverend Mother, because she can just do whatever she wants.
That was also Dexter's therapist, if you remember from Dexter, Charlotte Rampling, who, look, got to be credit for Dexter. Bobby, I saw you shaking your head there a little bit. You got a bigger badass?
Ellie, there are some categories you want to get creative in. He's the freaking Lisan Al Gaib. He's the biggest badass in the movie. Come on, Ellie. Don't overthink this one. Don't overthink this
I mentioned him.
You mentioned
I would say this.
the one. He's the one.
While he is the Lisan Al Gaib in the one, he's not fully formed yet.
He's the Lisan
in this movie. I'm going Duncan, Idaho. Momoa is the biggest badass in the movie. My boy.
He's currently dead.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
All right. The Matthew McConaughey Award, the best scene stealer in the movie, Ellie.
Scene stealer? Okay, I don't know why I keep saying the Reverend Mother, but I said the Reverend Mother because she's in it a few times, but all of her scenes are very memorable. The what's in the box, that's great. And just the, why'd you have to have a male, and we wait centuries and all that stuff. I think she's pretty cool.
I thought she was in the running. I gave it to Duncan, Idaho. He's not in this movie. He's not in this movie much at all. So I think he qualifies for the scene stealer.
Same. Duncan, Idaho. Jason Momoa just cleaning up for me. I love that guy. The big Tom Callahan Award for the best parent, Ellie.
Oh, easy answer. Oscar Isaac, Leto Atreides, best parent. He's kind, he's comforting when he's like, all you have to do is be my son. And he sacrifices himself, and he's just best parent. Easy. And he's a duke. as Dad, you always say, he's rich. So
He is.
He is rich, but he's dead. And I agree, he was a great dad, but he's not the Lisan Al Gaib. He's the one. I mean, this is. I mean, did we do the Matrix yet? We haven't done the Matrix.
No.
Neo's the guy. Neo's the best. I mean, Neo's the best dad. He's the one. He's the one.
So you go Lisan Al Gaib, just clearing up for you, Bobby.
He's the one, Mark. I don't understand why this is so hard. He's the one.
I'm gonna zig, or I probably shouldn't zag. Gurney, Josh Brolin, great dude, love him. He's training the Lisan Al Gaib. I feel like he maybe creates that he is the one, and I love Josh Brolin. The Jenny Award, worst parent, Ellie.
I think that's clear. It's the Baron. I mean, he's just disgusting, evil, just a horrible parent, I think.
Yeah, it's going to be tough to find someone that's worse than the Baron. I have Jessica written down. I just don't. I'm not a huge fan of her, but Ellie, you are correct. You did not overthink this one. It is the Baron.
Can I convince you it's Dr. Hui with just the rat betrayal?
But okay, Mark. I've got Ellie, Chelsea, and Lily, and I'm going to slit their throats if you don't do that. Like, I get it. Like, I get it.
He was got to be in the running for the Terrence Howard worst decision. Making a deal with the Baron. I mean,
all right, is that the next category?
No, we're going eBay award. Item from the movie you'd most want is the box. Where you're going to go, Ellie?
I think, yeah, the box and the needle, which is named the Gom Jabbar.
Oh.
Yes. I think that's pretty cool. And I also love the Hunter Seeker, the little flying thing. And also, I'm going to college soon. I think those like film books with the projection and the narrating, I think that'd be pretty cool to have. You just learn any topic and it's like right in front of you.
But would it be better than that floating light that just goes with you everywhere?
What was that?
That thing is awesome. And if that's on eBay, I'm buying it before the Hunter Seeker. I'm buying it before everything. The light just follows you around.
True.
That's a good one. The only other one I had written down, well, the training shield would be really, like if I could somehow have that, I don't know how it works. The Atreides ring. Bob, should we go to like a seal? Like, you know, they're like seal stuff. I know we don't mail anything anymore. Should we go back to seals?
I think we should.
Yeah.
Trump will make an executive order for that.
We get a podcast seal. Just wear that ring around. Just kind of send some stuff up.
Yeah.
All right, we're adding this in for Ellie because she liked it. She had some questions about the Predator Award. She's like, Dad, what does that even mean with the governor? The Predator Award, character from this movie that would be a great governor in what state, Ellie?
Okay, I said Oscar Isaac because he's just a great Duke, or Leto, real name in the movie. He's a great dude. I think he's a good leader. He knows what he's doing. He makes good choices. I think for just a nice big state like Texas, something like that. And then also Stilgar. I think he'd be a great governor for just one of those like Western states. She's just taking no nonsense.
Bob just spent some time out there on the way. I'm going to go Momoa in Montana. I think that'd be a great sign. Momoa, Montana. Bob, what are you going with?
I went Stilgar for Alaska. I'm right with Ellie. Just out there.
Stilgar, Alaska. That's great.
We don't need to be a state. Just don't bother me. Just we're not using homes anymore. Like homes are outlawed. We're just nomadic. Just wandering the landscape.
Bob, you've hinted at a few bad decisions. Dr. Hui. Jameis deciding to fight when he can't really fight, but what wins the Terrence Howard Award for the worst decision?
It's Dr. Hui. I mean, Jameis is when I'm not challenging anybody to a fight, no matter how convinced I am of why I should. Jameis, what are we doing? You're not a good fighter at all. I mean, he could have taken your head off immediately. But Dr. Hui, you can't. I mean, talk about making a deal with the devil. You know it's not going to work out. Come on.
Just dumb. And you get to say Dr. Hui.
It's almost like it's bad writing, because it's like it should have been for some other reason. It should have just been for a big bag of cash. Like the Baron's not going to do what he says he's going to do.
You concur, Ellie? That's a bad decision.
I think it's you saying Dr. Hui when it's Dr. Yue.
All right, well, your payback, because, Ellie, it's time. It's time for Bob's big question. Are you ready, Ellie? Let's go.
I think I am.
Ellie, give me your best.
Aw.
Ellie, so spice rules this world. What is the spice of today?
Like LSD.
Well, I don't think LSD runs the world. That's not where I was going with that, but okay, maybe. Hey, college kids, Mark, am I right? I mean,
Yeah, am I right?
I thought you meant like the hallucinogen.
no, spice. I mean,
Okay.
worlds are being conquered and fought over because of this spice. What's the spice of today?
I think I think it's just money. I think money just rules the world. Or maybe like oil. I don't know.
Yeah, I was thinking oil. That what you
Oil.
were thinking, Mark? Oil?
Yeah, oil. Yeah.
Oil. Okay. All right, Ellie, I'll go to you with this one. So they discover this spice. What do you think is the greatest discovery of all time? Meaning, the internet was invented, wasn't a discovery. And I always think of this. Can you imagine the first time a man ate like a banana? I mean, can you imagine how good that tasted? What is the greatest discovery of all time?
That's a good. Would like cooking meat count?
Fire. Yeah.
Yeah, fire and like the first person to kill an animal and like skin it and cut it open and put it over a fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, can you imagine? Just like, this is terrible. Oh my God, this is great. This is the greatest thing I've ever eaten. Yeah.
This is amazing. Yeah, I had written down salt. That's a good one.
Yeah.
You know, the fruit. I want a video of that. Oh, Ellie, are you getting, Mark, you're not on TikTok, are you? Are you getting these AI generated selfies from biblical times? It's like, yo, David here, I'm about to fight that giant over there. It's awesome.
Yes.
It's awesome.
I just got one of Moses parting the
Yes.
sea. He's like, I don't know what's happening, but this is pretty cool.
But he's doing it with like a selfie stick. He's just like, we just got to the water and started walking. Look what God did. Hashtag the Savior. Like, it's awesome. It's awesome. It's awesome. It's awesome. So Ellie, we've had this discussion a lot with some of the movies we've been doing. The latest one was Edward de Longshanks of Braveheart, and Mark and I were both like, I think he's just doing what a leader's got to do. Do leaders just need to be bad, evil, terrible people?
I think to some extent, yes. Like I mentioned before, I read a lot of books, and every book is about a naive young girl who becomes a leader and the queen and whatnot. She has to learn that, you can't save everybody and you've got to make tough choices. And yeah, I think to be a good leader, you gotta know when to be bad and when to be good. But I think you have to be more good than bad.
You do. Mark, do you disagree?
Look, hashtag Longshank. Longshanks was right.
Longshanks was right, yeah. All right, Mark, it's 10,191. What's the Earth doing at this point? What did Earth look like? What did Idaho look like at this point?
Oh, are we just incinerated? Have we just
I don't know.
just, like the ozone layer's gone? We've just melted. We're no longer there, right? We've had to move on. I think.
But what?
I mean, it's a long 8,000 years from now. We're out of here.
But what is the Earth doing? Is it just it implodes on itself? It's just
it's just a spinning rock of death. There's just nothing left.
Okay, I got it. Ellie, are the Bene Gesserit a little too patient? I mean, here's my thing. Like, how long does this voice last? If the voice is that powerful, why don't they just talk in the voice all the time? Are they a little too patient?
I think yes. I mean, like, how much longer is everything going to happen? Are the Harkonnens just going to kill everybody? Is the Emperor just going to kill everybody? And she says, like, if he's not the one, it's okay. We have, like, plenty of other ones. Like, so this, and all of this just could have happened at any time. I don't really know. I think
you're right. This is what I was, the Bene Gesserit are a bunch of phonies. How don't they know that he's the one?
Yeah.
Well, they think it's a woman, right? I mean, that's like the whole point of the next one is the daughter that she's pregnant with, right? That they kind of prefer that it's a woman.
Mark, how long does his voice last? Can't they just talk in that voice, nonstop? Like,
it seems like it'd be hard to do. Like, it's kind of like Batman. Like, Batman can't talk like that all the time.
But like, why is it just in spurts? Is it Is that just
Yeah.
You got to summon all that strength to do it. I don't know. Good point.
and this kind of goes along my Ellie, are the Bene Gesserit, did they make Paul into the one? Or to your point, do they just have these other people stacked up and he's just going to be a special one?
I think their whole thing is like centuries past. They've been careful. Well, what Jessica says, they've been carefully crafting bloodlines to bring about the one. So I think they've been crafting these bloodlines for Leto, Atreides, and Jessica. And then when she's born, the mixing of their blood creates someone that's powerful enough to be the one. And so I think they've been maybe doing that with some other bloodlines. And those people are powerful too.
All right, on a more serious note, Ellie, famously, Jameis is Paul's first kill. Do you remember your first kill?
Oh, yeah.
Ellie, on a way more serious note, which one of your friends would be the best at sand walking? Who would be the best sand walker?
I mean, I want to say that it would be me. I feel like I've seen Dune a lot of times. I feel like I got like the going down. I'm a dancer. I feel like I'm light on my feet.
Yeah, light on her feet.
I feel like I could do it pretty well.
Mark, which one of our friends would be the best sand walker?
The worst would be Johnny. The best sand walker, I'm going to go with Jordan Factor, the best sand walker.
Yeah, he sand walks kind of on a normal day. It seems like he's doing a little sand walking. So I've talked about the Thopter being the best name thing. If the Thopter is on this side as one of the best names of all time, is on the total opposite side the Thumper? Are we serious? That's the best they could come up with? Ellie,
The Thumper? Yeah.
the Thumper? Is that what?
I was.
It's this thing that thumps. Like, you can't just call it the Thumper. You can't just do that.
I was thinking that too. I was like, could it be something cooler like the sandworm attractor? The I don't even know, but Thumpers is crazy.
Bad. Mark, what else could we call the Thumper?
The Sand Blaster? The Sand Wedge? What was this?
Deploy the sand wedge.
Yeah.
All right, the last of Bob's big question. Ellie, on the spot, give us your top 5 movies of all time. Yep.
Wow.
On the spot.
Wow.
You wanted
That
it?
is-
There you go.
Okay. Inception has to be on there. Ooh, that is so hard. Inception, Dune.
Okay.
Maybe Dune 2, though.
Okay.
I think I like Dune 2 better. Either The Hunger Games or Divergent. I don't know which one.
Okay.
Those are just classics. Maybe both of those. I don't know. And then 5th, I can't even think of all the movies I've ever seen. Off the top of my head, we'll go Gladiator.
Atta
but
girl.
There you
Atta
go.
girl. It's a good top 5.
It's
Yeah.
a great top 5. Olivia Grace reading The Hunger Games. She read all 3 of them, and now she's doing she's doing the prequels. Have you read the prequels yet?
I have not, but I have watched the movie
Oh, there's a movie of the prequels already.
Yeah.
of one of them. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. Ellie, you destroyed your dad in Bob's Big Questions. Great job. Was it as fun as you thought it was going to be?
It was. I feel good.
All right.
Good job, E-Money. All right, we're coming down to the end. A couple more awards. The Rudy Sack Award. Most emotional moment of the movie. This one was easy for me, Ellie. What do you got?
2. 1, Oscar Isaac, Leto Atreides sacrificing himself for them, and the battles happening, and Atreides is falling. I think that's a good one. And then also Duncan Idaho dying. I think
That's it
obvious
for me.
answer.
Duncan Idaho, just basically sacrificing himself, coming back to life, taking down a few guys.
Oh, yeah.
Same for you, Bob?
So, yeah, Duncan, Idaho. Yep.
So the ending of the movie it's very kind of like Lord of the Rings, right? Where it just ends, like you're just kind of there. Do we like that? Do you like the way this movie just kind of ends, Ellie? It's almost like mid-walking, just like Frodo and Samwise walking off to Mordor. Do you like it?
I loved it, and I remember when it came out, a lot of people did not like it, but I really liked it because I love when a movie leaves you on like not a high, but something, you're walking out, you're like, ooh, I want to see more of that. I want to see where they're walking to. I can't wait. It's like big crescendo music. I really liked it, and it made me excited for the second movie, and the second movie was great. So I love it. I love it when everything kind of culminates, and then it's like, okay, now the real stuff begins, and then leaves off.
Bobby?
Yeah, it leaves you in a perfect spot for the next one, especially because you knew there was going to be a sequel, right? If you didn't know there was going to be a sequel, that's when it kind of gets annoying. Or they leave it open-ended because they don't know if it's going to be successful and they're going to make another one to make any money. Like, yeah, it's perfect. Sand power, Sand power. That's what sees that guy riding that sandworm. But hopefully he makes a hard left when he sees that wall of that city, because no way he can go into that city.
Can't go in there.
Can't go in there. Can't go in there.
Hall of Fame plaques. I got a ton of these. I mean, I don't know if we have to hit on all of them, just because some of these guys weren't really in this movie, but just so many powerful actors. We'll start with the director, Villeneuve. Just some good stuff here. You got Dune. You got Blade Runner. Prisoners. Arrival. And Sicario. Man, it's hard for me to think of something other than Sicario with this guy, but Dune is going to be this guy's epic, so I'll probably go there. But Ellie, what do you think?
I mean, I've only seen Dune and Prisoners from that list, sadly, so I mean, I have to say Dune. I don't know how you could make Dune and that not be your best movie ever.
Didn't he do Gravity too? Did he do Gravity? Was that Gravity?
No, that was somebody else. Yeah, that was somebody else.
Oh, it was?
I know you're talking. Similar kind of name.
Yeah, and I hated that movie, so that might be his Hall of Fame plaque for how much I hate it. But go ahead. I'll look it up, but go ahead.
You got Dune?
Dune.
Bob?
Dune.
Yeah.
No, Dune, yeah.
Rebecca Ferguson, Lady Jessica. She's in The Greatest Showman. Never enough. Never enough. Mission Impossible, which she was fantastic in. I missed her not being in, she dies in Dead Reckoning, spoiler alert. So she's not in Final Reckoning. I missed her, Ellie. I kind of missed her not being in there. I thought she really went toe to toe with Cruise. So Mission Impossible is going to be it for me, but I could see where it could be Dune or The Greatest Showman, Ellie. Where do you go?
I think it's Dune 2. Because in Dune 2, she kind of has a little bit of like a villain arc. She kind of turns a little crazy, and she's whispering and doing all these things. And I think she just she's really cool in Dune 2. So I say Dune 2.
It's The Greatest Showman for me, hands down.
Yeah.
I love that. I've seen that movie a billion times, and I love it. Every single time, I love it. That From Now On, you want to see me cry? Play that From Now On when he's running back to his family. It's the best. It's the best.
Zendaya. She's not doing much in it. Great skin for being out in that sand and being dehydrated. Spider-Man, Greatest Showman. Again, we'll see if Bob goes there. Euphoria, admittedly a show I've never seen, but she's incredibly popular. That Challengers was a big movie. Ellie, I think when I asked you, like, hey, what do you know Zendaya from? You're like, Casey Undercover, some Disney show. Is that where you go? Is that Zendaya to the younger generation?
I think yes. Like, she was in Shake It Up. She was in Casey Undercover. She's in Zap. She was just that Disney Channel girl. And so I think for me, whenever I think of her, I'll always think of that a little bit because, she was there in my childhood. But other than that, I would say to the teen culture, probably Euphoria or Challengers or something like that. But yeah, for me, she's just Disney Channel.
Greatest Showman, mopping up. It's a no-doubter. It's immediate. And if somehow you tell me Zac Efron's in this movie, Greatest Showman for Zac Efron too.
Zac Efron. Yeah, I'll go Dune for her, but she was good at that. Let's save him for last. Oscar Isaac, Dune and Star Wars. I mean, he's Poe Dameron. Ellie, you think of him more as a Leto Atreides or Poe Dameron?
Definitely Atreides, I think. What else has he been in, though? Because there's something else in the back of my mind that I know him from.
Like Ex Machina was a pretty cool movie that he was in. He's got some of these other, like Most Violent Year.
It's like 50 pounds heavier in Ex Machina, right?
Yeah.
Like a kind of portly guy. Yeah.
Okay, maybe. I don't know. But for me, I guess it would be Dune.
Bobby?
Yeah, it's Dune for me, for sure.
Yeah, I think I'll go with Dune, even though I like Star Wars. But those were not great. Momoa. I mean, this dude's Dune. He's Aquaman, but he's Khal Drogo. I mean, come on. From Game of Thrones, Ellie, right?
I mean, I always, every time I think of him, I think of Aquaman. I don't know
Really?
why.
Not
He's
Cal,
just,
not Drogo?
I
Interesting.
do think of Drogo too, but I mean, Game of Thrones is like my favorite show, but I don't know. I just always think of him as Aquaman.
Drogo, right, Bob?
Yeah, but he's replaced. It leaves just a bad taste in my mouth, right? Didn't he? His character got replaced, right?
No, he
No,
died.
he dies.
He died.
It's the other dude.
Oh,
that
it's
gets
the other
replaced.
dude that got replaced.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, he's Game of Thrones. No doubt about it for me.
Javier Bardem. Can No Country for Old Men be beaten, Bob? Dune, Skyfall. He's a great villain in Skyfall, which I think is the best James Bond. But Bob, we're going No Country for Old Men, correct? On Javier Bardem.
Yes, but with an asterisk because I had to check to make sure it was the same dude. You know what I mean? It's like
He's different in that movie.
yeah, it's like I think. Oh, sorry. He's like, yeah, is that? Yes, I think that's him. Is that him? Is that him? But yeah, he's No Country. When are we doing that? That's very similar
That's
to
awesome.
Hell or High Water, but So, but yeah, it's
Ellie, you've never seen the movie we're talking about, so is he Stilgar, Dune to you, Javier Bardem?
Oddly enough, I think he is Ariel's dad in The Little Mermaid.
is it
He's Ariel's dad?
like the live action one.
Yes, he's King Triton.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
I think that was the first thing I saw him in, but yeah, probably Dune or King Triton. I don't
Okay.
know.
Well, we need to watch No Country for Old Men, Ellie, before you
We will.
head out of here to Dog Country. Josh Brolin, also in No Country for Old Men. He's Cable in Deadpool, Bobby.
Yes, he is.
Sicario. He's also Thanos, which we have covered as maybe one of the great villains, in any movie, right? I mean, he basically owns the universe.
He's
Is he Thanos to you, Bobby?
No, he is he's Sicario. I don't even know his character's name. It's Sicario, but that's immediately what I think of when I think of Josh Brolin.
Ellie, do you know much about Josh Brolin other than just being Gurney and Dune here?
I did not know he was Thanos.
He's Thanos.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I guess he'd have to be Thanos.
Yeah, you gotta be. You gotta be Thanos.
Yeah.
All right, we close with Timothee Chalamet, maybe the successor to Leo. Great head of hair. He's a young Matthew McConaughey's son in Interstellar. We only remember Murph, but Timothee Chalamet makes his debut there. It'd be tough to beat the Lisan Al Gaib. You're the chosen one. He was it Bob Dylan, right? Bob Dylan in The Complete Unknown. He plays Willy Wonka. He's in the Bleu de Chanel commercials that Ellie and I really love. Every time that comes on, I go, Bleu de Chanel, and it's Timothee Chalamet. Ellie, who's Timothee Chalamet to you? Is he the Lisan Al Gaib?
He has to be the Lisan Al Gaib.
Yeah.
I mean, he's the one. And I think that was his big breakout into like major Hollywood. So.
Yeah, I got two, and it's not the Lisan Al Gaib. One, he's courtside at the Knicks with that Kardashian.
Yeah.
That's it.
Kylie.
And his SNL skit with Pete Davidson. Skeet!
Yes.
I mean, that is a great one. That's it. It's one of those two, and it's probably the SNL skit. Probably.
I love it when
He's
you go
really
SNL
good on
skit.
SNL.
Yeah.
What Hall of Fame plaques you got, Bobby?
All right, Ellie, what's the Hall of Fame plaque for toughest environment to live? You touched on this. So you can be in the desert. You could live in the swamp. You could live in the Arctic. You could live in the high altitude. You could live on the water. You could live in Milton. Or you could live in Gainesville, Florida, which we got to start the gator jokes now. You're a dog. You got to be like, the worst environment to live in is those damn gators. I hate them gators. What's the worst environment to live in, Ellie? Hall of Fame plaque.
I feel like it has to be either the desert or the Arctic. Because you got, maybe the desert. You have no water. It's just so hot. Like, I feel like that would just be bad. In the Arctic, like, at least maybe you can get some of the ice and, like, eat that.
It's a difficult question, Mark. What is the Hall of Fame plaque for?
The cold. Like, I feel like I could survive in the heat, not the cold.
What about the swamp? Like, what do
The swamps. And it's the gators, Ellie. The swamp. The swamp in Gainesville is the worst place to be. There you go.
There you go.
All right, the best actor 20 years from now. You got Timothée Chalamet. You got Zendaya. Tom Holland. Ann Taylor-Joy, the Queen's Gambit woman. And Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise. That's great.
Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise, best.
Tom Cruise. Yeah, that's great. That's great.
All right, Ellie, this is just for you. The Hall of Fame plaque for the best looking man in this movie. Just an incredibly handsome cast. You've got Momoa, you got Chalamet, you got Brolin, you've got Leto, and you got Javier Bardem. Who's the most attractive man in this movie?
Yeah, they're okay. The top three for me are Momoa, Oscar Isaac, and Timothee Chalamet.
Wow, that's a big. I thought you'd be like you'd either leave Chalamet out or it would be Chalamet because those are Momoa and Chalamet are very different.
Yeah,
I know, and that's why it's a hard choice. I don't know. Yeah,
The answer doesn't
either
matter,
Momoa or Chalamet.
Ellie. The answer doesn't matter. So just
maybe Momoa because
Momoa.
I like it when he pulls the sword out and he kills all those people.
Mark, who's the best looking man in this movie?
I think it's Momoa. That's a good looking,
good
big burly man.
Good looking man.
Yeah.
All right, who's the best one? Okay, the best one. We've got Neo from The Matrix. We've got the Lisan Al Gaib. We've got Harry Potter.
Yeah.
We got John Connor. We got Katniss Everdeen.
Ooh, Ellie.
And I was going to put Luke Skywalker. Is he technically the one? I don't even know the arc of this story. Who's the one in Star Wars?
Technically, it's Anakin.
All right, Anakin. And then you've got Jesus Christ. Who's the best one? Tell you what. Who's the second?
Who's the second? Who's the second one? Who's the second
best
one?
Yeah.
Ellie, who's the best one?
I mean, I was gonna say the Lisan Al Gaib until you brought up Jesus, but if we're going second, it has to be. No one else has another name. Actually, everyone else does have another name, but the Lisan Al Gaib, like in the second movie when Stilgar, anytime he does something, Stilgar goes, whatever. It's the Lisan Al Gaib.
Yeah.
He proclaimed it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's him.
Mark, it's a 2-horse race.
Yeah. Look, just because his arc is not finished, I'm going Neo. I've seen Neo. Look. The Lisan Al Gaib is the greatest name in just movie history, like of the one. Right? Because otherwise it's just the one. But Neo, we know his story. We'll wait to see how Lisan Al Gaib pulls it out.
You know what's crazy about that is if I asked you, hey, how does Neo's arc end? I'm positive you can't.
Yeah, I couldn't even tell you.
Yeah, so I don't know, man. We'll see. We'll wait. We'll do
we'll wait.
We'll do a rewatch. All right, and we'll wrap it up with the best poisonous gas in a movie. The Hall of Fame plaque for best poisonous gas in a movie. You've got the gas that he bites his tooth, which just the noise of that was so disgusting. Like the gas is fine. The cracking of the tooth is pretty gross. So you got this. You got the gas from Signs from that alien that comes out. Which the kid is okay because he's got asthma. You've got Smilex, which was Jack Nicholson in The Joker in the 1989 Batman. His gas was called Smilex. You've got napalm. I love the smell of napalm in the morning. Apocalypse Now. You've got the gas that Tommy Shelby does in Batman Begins and The Dark Knight. And then the absolute leader in the clubhouse is VX Gas from The Rock.
Oh, that one. That wins it for me, Ellie. You probably have not seen The Rock.
What's the greatest gas in a movie? I probably should have done a farting movie. What's the best fart in a movie? That's a miss. That's my fault. That's a miss. Go ahead, Ellie. What's the best gas in a movie?
I have a new one
nice.
I have a what's that called? An addition or whatever. Hunger Games Catching Fire. Okay. They're in the arena.
Okay.
One of the slices of the clock is poisonous gas, and they run away, and it's getting them. They're coughing, and their skin is reacting, and then one of them has to stay in and sacrifice and dies, and then they have to run away from the gas.
There you go.
I think that one's pretty good.
I would love if you added it and then didn't pick it. You're like, there's we're not picking that one. So
not that
which one are you picking? Is it that one? Which one are you picking?
Yes,
okay.
Yes.
Hunger
the
Games.
Catching Fire poisonous gas.
There you go.
Perfect. And Ellie, you won yet again. It's just an incredible showing. An incredible show.
Just
Yay.
The last thing to give out, Ellie, is the MVP of this movie. It's tricky. Great director. You got great sound, great performances. But does the Lisan Al Gaib take the MVP award, Ellie?
I think yes. Because I think everyone in the movie is perfect in their role. But, I mean, I think you could have other people for some of these. Maybe it wouldn't be as good, but you could. But I think Timothee Chalamet, like, for the level of famous that he was at the time, which was, like, he was known, but not very well known. And his performance, I think he is the Lisan Al Gaib, and he did a great job. I also have an honorable mention for the music and the costumes.
Yeah.
They won Academy Awards, I think.
Yeah.
Are we sure?
Like those helmets where they're just, like, circle helmet, no neck. I think those are great.
Yeah, I left that out of Worst Decisions. Like, they don't know that if they follow that woman out there, they're getting eaten by that worm. They were so surprised that the worm ate them. They're like, oh my gosh, what's happening? Like, that's not good. Are we sure the MVP isn't this guy?
Yeah.
That's it.
That's pretty good. Yeah, that's who you go with?
No, my real MVP, it is very, very difficult, but I have to go with the Lisan Al Gaib. You have to go with Chalamet. You have to go. I don't think he was the best character. I don't think he was better than Zimmer or the director, but he's the Lisan Al Gaib. He might be the greatest one of all time.
Yeah. Yeah. Like if you're going to have a movie about the one, he's got to pull it off. I think Chalamet does a good job. He's believable.
Yeah.
He's charismatic. So I go with Chalamet as well. We close, as always, with Pozcast predictions. Notably, I am wearing a Georgia Bulldog hat. We've got a dance dog, literally, on camera with us here, Bobby, on the thing. So, Ellie, do the dogs win the title next year?
Yes, they do.
Yes, and the dance dogs are going to be there, cutting down the nets. We're going to win them all. We're going to win the football, basketball, volleyball, the whole thing. It's going to be a sweep.
Everything.
Bobby, in Athens, Georgia, the dogs do it. Do you have a counter to any of that, Bob?
Yeah, I don't think they're going to win every championship. I think they'll be really good in baseball. I think they'll be really good in football. I think they'll be very average in basketball, and any other sport doesn't really matter.
Ellie, this has been a blast. Been fun having you on here. I hope you enjoyed yourself. Did you have fun? Bob was okay to you, I thought, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, I did have fun. I was not heckled or anything. It was great.
You're the Lisan Al Gaib, Ellie. I couldn't do that.
Yes. You are the Lisan Al Gaib. Dune, part 1 from 2021. It's a fun one. Enjoyed it. Next time on the podcast.
Yeah.